Mix passion fruit pulp with chayote and blend it with water today to soothe the stuck gut and soften hard stool with this homemade drink. Blend, strain, and drink it on an empty stomach in the morning. Subscribe to the channel and like the video if you enjoy this type of content. Many people associate passion fruit only with mental relaxation, ignoring the fact that the active ingredient in passiflora acts directly on the smooth muscle of the digestive system, reducing the spasms that lock up intestinal transit. When the gut is tense and contracted due to daily stress, stool cannot move forward. And that is exactly where the calming properties of this fruit come into action, sending chemical signals for the colon walls to relax and allow the natural movement of fecal matter without the need for excessive force or pain. Chayote, often underestimated in Brazilian cuisine for its mild flavor, is actually a structured hydration bomb that carries water into intestinal cells in a way that plain water often cannot do alone. Its composition, rich in insoluble fibers, works like a sponge that retains liquids, preventing stool from drying out and turning into those hard pellets that cause so much discomfort, ensuring that the fecal volume remains moist and malleable for a much smoother and more complete evacuation. By uniting these two ingredients, we create a biochemical synergy where the pectin present in the passion fruit pulp fuses with the chayote fibers, forming a viscous gel that protects the intestinal mucosa against chronic inflammation and irritation. This mucilaginous gel is fundamental for those who have suffered from constipation for a long time, as it acts as a natural lubricant that coats the anal canal and the rectum, facilitating the sliding of stool and preventing the appearance of fissures or the aggravation of hemorrhoids that tend to bleed from straining. From a nutritional standpoint, this combination offers a balanced electrolytic load, providing potassium and magnesium in ideal doses to stimulate peristaltic movements, which are the natural waves of gut contraction. A deficiency in these minerals is a common and silent cause of constipation in adults, and by consuming this drink, you are basically restocking the fuel necessary for your gut nerves to start firing evacuation signals at the correct rhythm again, combating coulommic inertia. Consuming this mixture right in the morning on an empty stomach maximizes the absorption of these nutrients because the digestive system is waking up and eager for input, which triggers the gastrocolic reflex much more efficiently. This reflex is the biological signal the stomach sends to the large intestine, warning that new food is coming and that the old material needs to be discarded, creating a physiological habit that trains your body to go to the bathroom at the same time every day, regulating your biological clock. Incidentally, in the first comment below this video, there is a recommendation for a supplement that really works and will help you eliminate intestinal constipation and improve your gut health as a whole. There is also a powerful anti-inflammatory component in the peel and pulp of these vegetables that helps reduce abdominal bloating, that sensation of distension that makes your clothes feel tight throughout the day. By decreasing subclinical inflammation in the gut walls, we allow the villi to better absorb nutrients and the intestinal barrier to strengthen, preventing toxins from leaking into the bloodstream and causing that fatigue and migraine typical of someone who goes days without a bowel movement. The health of your gut microbiota is profoundly benefited by this mixture, as the soluble fibers found in chayote act as high-quality prebiotics, serving as food for the beneficial bacteria that inhabit your colon. By fermenting these fibers, your gut flora produces short-chain fatty acids, such as butyrate, which are essential for nourishing the cells of the intestinal wall and preventing the development of polyps or more serious diseases, creating an internal environment where constipation cannot thrive.
Considering the gut-brain axis, it is impossible to ignore how one's emotional state directly impacts the frequency of bowel movements, given that a large part of the body's serotonin is produced in the digestive tract. The alkaloids present in passion fruit not only calm the mind, but reduce the visceral sensitivity that many people with a stuck gut feel, breaking the vicious cycle where anxiety locks the gut and a locked gut generates more anxiety and irritability, promoting systemic well-being. Unlike stimulant laxatives sold in pharmacies, which act by irritating the mucosa to force a violent and often painful reaction, this drink acts through the principle of emollients and deep hydration. This means you won't be making your gut addicted or atrophying its ability to function alone. On the contrary, you are re-educating the smooth muscle to work autonomously, restoring the natural elasticity lost through years of using aggressive chemical medications. A fascinating biological aspect is how this combination aids in the production and release of bile by the liver, a digestive fluid that acts as the body's own natural laxative by lubricating the small intestine. Chayote possesses compounds that facilitate hepatic work, ensuring that bile flows correctly to emulsify fats and accelerate intestinal transit, preventing stool from becoming stagnant and dry due to slow or incomplete digestion of heavier meals. The integrity of the intestinal barrier is also reinforced by the abundant vitamin C in passion fruit, which is an essential cofactor for the synthesis of collagen, the protein that gives structure and resistance to body tissues. A gut with good collagen levels is more elastic and less prone to painful distension or the formation of diverticuli, those small pockets that can inflame and cause acute pain in those suffering from chronic constipation for many years. Looking at long-term prevention, the intestinal regularity provided by this recipe prevents the reabsorption of hormonal toxins, such as excess estrogen, which should be eliminated in the stool daily. When the gut works like a clock, you allow your natural detoxification system to operate at maximum capacity, which is reflected in clearer skin, less fluid retention, and a significant decrease in inflammatory processes that accelerate cellular aging. For those suffering from blood sugar spikes or pre-diabetes, it is crucial to understand that excess blood sugar can damage the nerves controlling the gut, causing so-called autonomic neuropathy. Chayote comes in here as a strategic ally due to its very low glycemic index and richness in fiber, helping to stabilize insulin while providing volume to the stool, ensuring that the constipation treatment doesn't sabotage sugar control, something that unfortunately happens with many commercial laxative syrups. There is a silent battle happening at the cellular level against oxidative stress, which prematurely ages the digestive system and makes it lazy and atonic as years go by. The antioxidant flavonoids present in passion fruit act as protective shields for the enteric nervous system, preserving the integrity of electrical communication between gut neurons, which is vital for maintaining motility and expulsion strength active even in older age. Socially, chronic constipation generates an invisible and often humiliating insecurity, as abdominal bloating and gut unpredictability cause many people to avoid leaving home or wearing clothes they like. By introducing this morning habit, you are not just seeking a mechanical evacuation, but recovering the confidence of not feeling stuffed or gassy at inopportune moments, returning the social freedom and physical comfort that are frequently stolen by digestive discomforts. The hydration provided by vegetables like chayote behaves differently than plain water in the body, as the liquids structured within the plant matrix are released more slowly during the digestive process. This ensures prolonged irrigation throughout the entire colon, preventing the body from quickly absorbing all the water for the kidneys and leaving the stool dry again at the end of the tract, functioning like an intelligent internal drip irrigation system that maintains fecal moisture for hours.
Even when straining the mixture, the resulting drink carries a significant amount of soluble fibers that dissolved in the water and are fundamental for maintaining gastric and intestinal mucosal health. These soluble fibers have the unique capacity to sequester excess bile acids and fat molecules in the gut, preventing their reabsorption, which gives this recipe a dual role of clearing intestinal transit and aiding in the maintenance of healthy cholesterol levels. The sensation of satiety and gastric well-being promoted by this drink acts directly on appetite control throughout the day, preventing you from reaching for ultra-processed foods or those rich in white flours that act like glue in the gut. Breaking the cycle of eating inflammatory foods is an essential part of recovery, and by starting the day with a drink rich in bioactive nutrients, you program your palate and metabolism to intuitively reject what blocks your system. Sleep quality is intrinsically linked to gut function, and passion fruit acts here as a dual regulator benefiting both systems. By inducing a state of deep relaxation and fighting insomnia generated by anxiety, it allows the parasympathetic nervous system, responsible for digestion and excretion, to take full control during rest, ensuring that cellular repair processes and nocturnal peristaltic movements occur without stress interference, preparing the body for morning evacuation. Chayote is recognized for its mild diuretic properties, which paradoxically assist in correct fecal hydration by balancing body fluids. By helping the kidneys filter excess sodium and reducing fluid retention that causes swelling in the legs and abdomen, it improves blood microcirculation around the intestinal loops, ensuring that oxygenated, nutrient-rich blood reaches digestive tissues to nourish the muscle cells responsible for the final push of stool. As we age, our natural ability to produce digestive enzymes decreases, which results in pieces of undigested food reaching the colon, causing excessive fermentation, foul-smelling gas, and blockage. The bioactive compounds present in fresh raw vegetable juice provide auxiliary enzymatic support that helps in the residual breakdown of these macronutrients, clearing the path so that stool forms in a compact yet soft manner, avoiding that constant sensation of heaviness in the belly. It is fundamental to distinguish this recipe from popular laxative teas like Senna or Cascara Sagrada, which act by causing micro-inflammations in the gut wall to provoke violent expulsion spasms. The approach of this drink is one of reconstruction and not aggression. It supplies the biological raw material for the mucosa to heal and for natural protective mucus to be produced in sufficient quantity, avoiding that terrible cycle of induced diarrhea followed by days of severe constipation. When stool sits for days in the gut, a dangerous phenomenon called auto-intoxication occurs, where the body begins to reabsorb harmful metabolic byproducts that should have been discarded. The chelating action of the fibers and phytonutrients in this mixture helps to sequester these toxins in the intestinal lumen before they cross the gut barrier, protecting vital organs like the liver and kidneys from unnecessary toxic overload that drains your vital energy. Considering that about 70 to 80% of our immune system resides in the gut walls, keeping transit free is not just about comfort, but a matter of primary biological defense. The accumulation of putrefying fecal matter alters the colon's pH and weakens local defenses. By promoting a gentle daily cleanse with this drink, you are modulating your organism's immune response and preventing silent local inflammations from evolving into more complex systemic autoimmune conditions in the future.
Those who suffer from inflamed hemorrhoids or anal fissures know that going to the bathroom can become a true nightmare of pain and recurrent bleeding. The pasty and hydrated consistency that this drink lends to stool is the main factor of mechanical protection for these sensitive areas, as it eliminates the need to use excessive force or Valsalva maneuver, allowing the healing of these lesions to occur naturally without being reopened daily by the passage of petrified, dry feces acting like sandpaper on the mucosa. The efficient absorption of calcium and magnesium, minerals crucial for bone health and osteoporosis prevention, is severely compromised when the gut is dirty, inflamed, and covered by harmful bacterial biofilms. By cleaning the layer of stagnant mucus and reducing inflammation of the intestinal villi with the antioxidants in this recipe, you are indirectly protecting your skeleton, ensuring that minerals from your diet actually cross the intestinal wall and enter the bloodstream instead of being eliminated unused. Intestinal pH balance is another frequently ignored factor, as an excessively acidic internal environment favors the proliferation of fungi like Candida and pathogenic bacteria that produce toxic gases and bloating. Chayote possesses an alkalizing nature that helps neutralize excessive acidity generated by the fermentation of processed foods and sugars, creating a biological medium where digestive enzymes function at their maximum potential and where beneficial flora can reproduce and dominate the territory. Often, what we wrongly interpret as resistant belly fat is actually chronic distension caused by kilos of retained fecal matter and trapped gas expanding the intestinal loops outward. The routine introduction of this drink acts as internal lymphatic drainage, visibly reducing abdominal circumference not by immediate fat burning, but by the real and effective emptying of the colon, returning a sensation of lightness and even allowing the diaphragm to move freely for deeper breathing. The enteric nervous system, known scientifically as our second brain, possesses over 500 million neurons lining the gastrointestinal tract that need specific micronutrients to keep their electrical signaling active. The combination of B-complex vitamins present in passion fruit with the trace minerals in chayote nourishes this vast neural network, helping to restore the sensitivity of receptors that warn the brain when the rectum is full, a signal that often goes mute or desensitized in those suffering from chronic constipation. Consistency is the master key to transforming gut health permanently, as the human body operates through circadian rhythms and rigorous physiological habituation. By taking this drink religiously every morning, you are installing new biological software in your organism, creating predictability that reduces systemic stress. Your body starts to know it will receive help early on, and consequently begins to prepare intestinal motility in advance during sleep. One of the greatest neglected risks of chronic constipation is the prolonged contact time between feces and the intestinal walls, which exponentially increases cell exposure to toxins and carcinogenic agents present in food waste. By accelerating intestinal transit naturally with this recipe, you are drastically reducing this dangerous exposure window, actively acting in the primary prevention of severe pathologies like colorectal cancer and acute diverticulitis, which develop silently in stagnant environments. The brain fog and chronic fatigue that many patients report are not coincidences, but direct symptoms of an overloaded digestive system draining the body's metabolic energy to try to manage waste accumulation. By cleaning the gut, the blood becomes less viscous and richer in oxygen, allowing the brain to function with clarity and for you to recover that vital disposition often wrongly attributed merely to aging, but which is actually the fruit of constant internal intoxication.
Financially and logically, this solution returns autonomy to the individual, freeing them from dependence on pharmacies and medications that are expensive and bring unwanted long-term side effects. The power to find the cure and health maintenance at the market using cheap and accessible ingredients like chayote and passion fruit is a form of personal empowerment that places control of your biology back in your hands, transforming the kitchen into your main laboratory of preventative health. It is crucial to reinforce that consuming isolated fibers, like dry brands, without correct hydration can end up worsening constipation, turning stool into a mass of hardened cement inside the colon. The genius of this recipe lies in the perfect proportion of structured water from the chayote and passion fruit pulp blended with liquid water, ensuring that fibers enter the organism already hydrated and ready to fulfill their function as a gentle broom, without the risk of causing obstructions or severe cramps due to a lack of fluids. Adapting the palate to natural flavors is a beneficial side effect, because by ingesting this drink without the exaggerated addition of sugars, you re-educate your taste buds to appreciate the real taste of food, decreasing the craving for sweets that feed intestinal fungi. This sensory reset is the first step toward a broader dietary change, where the body starts asking for live nutrients instead of empty calories, creating a virtuous cycle of nutrition that sustains gut health permanently. Finally, understand that the gut is the root of the tree of your life. If the root is rotten or blocked, it is impossible for the branches, leaves, and fruits, representing your skin, mood, immunity, and energy, to be healthy and vibrant. Incorporating this homemade passion fruit and chayote drink into your morning routine isn't just a maneuver to go to the bathroom, but a profound act of self-love and longevity maintenance, ensuring your body functions like the perfect self-cleaning machine it was designed to be.